We'll try to get to as many questions as possible. And so our first question for Ramdas actually is we would love to know how you felt about the interview and video with Oprah.
Well, first of all, she was very warm to me. She was very hospitable. She was very loving. There was one thing that she did was she asked the the drug question in a very loaded way, because she's asked it about people who had died and then she asked me would I take back what I'd done in the future, in the past, and considering her audience, I couldn't answer any question she asked about dying with a positive answer. So I should have just changed the orientation and said that we could clarify psychedelics versus drugs. And psychedelics are plants, and they're wonderful, but I didn't. I said that what would I take back? I would take back encouraging people to use drugs. And which was made her audience safe, and it was too bad because Oprah in her family has drug casualties, and I wanted to not turn her off completely by the drug question. And so that was the one boo-boo in the whole thing. It was wonderful, as I say, and she came with a big crew to my house, trucks and cameras that ran on wheels, and there were 12 people to cameras and sound, and once we started, it was grand because she and I hit it off in our hearts. And that was very good. And she wanted to, Soul Sundays wanted to make them spiritual. And she wanted to make her contribution. That was an environment for my getting into Maharaji, love, consciousness, and all the other things that I really wanted to push. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Next question.
Thank you. So our first question is, in your next incarnation, if you have a choice of another human birth on Earth, what part of the world would you be born into? And is there a circumstance that appeals to you?
Well, I'd like to be taking another birth in Maui or India. India, in the villages, because the people there are so in their heart, in their souls, and they do all their work and their roles not getting identified with their roles. So I'd like to prefer to be among those people. But beauty and healing power and things like that, I'd like to be here in Maui. Next question.
Thank you. Our next question is, I'm in a situation that has pulled everything I thought about myself out from under me. I don't have a sense of goodness and I'm torn apart.
Wait a minute.
I'm unable to surrender my life and my wish for happiness for another. My mother is ill and my father has dementia. They will take no outside help and are antagonistic to anyone except family. This is an old wound. who in this scenario is getting hurt, and how do we end this old story?
Stephanie, I would like to repeat that question, and so I can ponder it before I answer.
Did you want the question repeated?
Yes.
Okay. I am in a situation that has pulled everything I thought about myself out from under me. I don't have a sense of goodness, and I'm torn apart. I'm unable to surrender my life and my wish for happiness for another. My mother and father are ill, and they will take no outside help. They're also antagonistic to everyone except family, and this is an old wound. Who is getting hurt, and how do we end this old story?
If you've offered and help, and they've refused the help, that's about the best you can do. And the rest of all that you're talking about is your head with values and stuff like that. They have to live out their karma. And if they don't like taking help, that's their right. Yeah. That's the way I would say it. Stephanie?
Okay, our next question. We've all heard of compassion towards sentient beings. Can you please define what falls under that category? Other than humans, are all animals included? For example, insects, worms, etc. Or where do we draw the line?
Living beings, cells, worms, cats, we're having a difficulty because the cat is drinking from my water glass. But I think he has a soul anyway, even though he's hungry. So souls are living beings. there's a sect in India. They're very careful not to harm another conscious being. And they avoid ants and bugs which might into their nose, everything. That's their main sadhana. Okay, Stephanie.
Okay. Next question. On a spiritual journey, it seems that there are so many paths and beliefs and traditions. I found one that speaks to my heart, but sometimes I feel removed from so many of the rituals and the do's and don'ts that seem to be prescribed as part of the whole experience. If my own practice is whole and heartfelt, then am I selling myself short by not engaging in certain aspects or practices that are also considered to be part of the path, or by also engaging in other practices that in some ways seem contradictory to traditional beliefs?
I think you should do a path which intuitively feels right. And it may be from many paths, taking parts from other paths and leaving them behind. It's your path, and you have a right to make your path. Yeah. And that and people that say you are doing wrong, I think they have to listen to your intuitive intuition.
Okay, thank you. Our next question. Could you please speak again about what it is to live in the presence of God and how we cultivate living in that presence on a daily basis?
You will find the presence of God in the moment, delving deeply into the moment. The wind, the sky, the grounds, the people, all of it right in there, right in each moment. I use my relationship to my guru. Now, I'm not relating to him as a man. I'm relating to his Atman, his God within. That is the guru for me. Now, if that God within is infinite, is infinite. It's infinite God. It's not anything in the heart, but you will go into that heart and go to the one, to the way, because our hearts, our souls are infinite. They are not ruled by time nor space. And therefore, you get into your heart, your spiritual heart, and you love the infinite. Love the infinite. You can love all around you is the manifestations of the infinite to bring you to the infinite. But the one thing you want to give, I have my love for Maharaji. I love God in Maharaji. And it is infinite. If you can love that, then you will bring yourself to God. And that love to that infinite God it will return that God loves you in that God love is just, as I say, infinite.
Conditional?
Unconditional love. Unconditional love. Unconditional love. your love, and then unconditional love will for you. Okay. Next question.
Okay, and thank you for your unconditional love. Next question. Sometimes I experience beautiful ideas and get so far with their creation, but then I become scared. What advice do you have for overcoming my fear?
The scaredness is your ego. The scaredness is your mind. You'll have to get the witness back in the spiritual heart, and then become the witness, and then witness the scaredness. The scaredness is a thought, and you witness it and love it. How about that? Next question.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Faith is such a huge word. Do you think one has to acquire a degree of enlightenment before one can experience faith? Or is it a case of just tuning into the now?
It's tuning into the now from our spiritual hearts, from loving awareness. And that will give you faith. Belief and faith are two different things. Belief is up in the head, or the mind, and faith is what the heart. The heart when you are situated in the spiritual heart, the feelings of that, the love, the compassion, the peace, things like that, will give you a faith in spirit, a faith in these other parts of consciousness. Yeah. Next question.
next question. In this life, especially recently, we've seen so much about how money can corrupt even the most basic and innocent areas, like health and education and civil rights, and even yoga and spirituality, etc. How do we retain a pure energy and pure motivation within an environment that is so financially driven?
Well, I think, you stay in your heart. And you love. And you can deal with the financial out there. Lots of people are corrupted by money. That's their karma. They chose to be in this culture. And you don't have to get mixed up with their karma. Choose love. Choose love. And your attachment to money is a thought. But you don't get to God with attachments. So throw the money away. Throw it away in your consciousness. And live your life with all the money you need. It doesn't have to be filling your consciousness. And you can get money from grace. That takes faith. Next question.
The sound wasn't on there, so can you repeat that?
Are we ready for the next question?